When I was growing up, I rarely went to restaurants with my family. So when I finally got the chance to go to IHOP with my godmother, I wanted to make sure that I took complete advantage of my experience. I ordered the stuffed French toast, which came with eggs and a side of hash browns. After having finished my meal, I realized that I'd left just a little bit of the egg yolk and the cream cheese on the plate. So, of course, I picked it up and I licked it clean. My godmother was shocked and told me, "That is not the proper way to behave in a restaurant." And I responded to her, "But our mother told us not to waste a drop of food." In my mind, my actions made complete sense. If there was food still left on the plate, it was up to me to make sure that it did not go to waste. However, this logic didn't correspond with my godmother, and it doesn't correspond with many members of our society. My mother immigrated to the United States on December 20th, 1994, after having spent most of her life in the Soviet Union. Her childhood experiences were remarkable to hear, relating both to the political and economic effects of living under such a different government. She told me that going to the store was always a surprise. She never knew what products to expect that day. The people fed themselves with what was available. They didn't have the luxury of choosing what to cook for their next meal. One of the biggest shocks to her upon coming to the United States was toilet paper. The pure variety that existed was remarkable to her, from recycled to ultra soft. It made her think about the many times that there simply wasn't any kind in the store when she was growing up, forcing her family to use the local newspaper. After growing up on so little, my mom naturally adopted a lifestyle of saving everything and wasting absolutely nothing. This continued even after she came to the United States, where the stores were full of products ready for us to purchase at any moment we wanted to. The food that we would leave on our plates, she always saved it for the next meal. Or if the bread were to accidentally get stale, she would chop it up, bake it, and then turn it into crackers. Even down to the soap that we used to wash our hands, she would dilute it so that way it would last just a little bit longer. This was my truth, my reality. It was the memories of my mom's past shining through to her kids, teaching them that not everyone has the same accessibility to consumable items. It's the reason that it gives me pain to see food thrown away, the reason that I reuse every plastic bag until the holes in it are simply too big, the reason that I now only try to shop secondhand clothes, and yes, even this outfit is thrifted, because I don't see a reason to waste resources when it can simply be avoided. However, we constantly normalize waste, from food to plastic to clothing, to any item that we determine just no longer has any value to us. A consumer lifestyle has taught us not to question where our products come from and then where they're going. They may end up in a landfill, buried deep under the earth, or in a different country to be sorted and taken apart for valuable materials. And when we obtain items, we automatically think of going to a store, even though nothing actually originates there. The store is an access point. It's a barrier between production and consumption. We've gotten used to obtaining nearly everything we need from stores, rather than seeking out our own means of survival. Most of us no longer grow our own food, make our own clothing, build our own houses. Rather, we purchase items to use immediately, taking advantage of purchasing the resources and paying for the production and labor costs. This lifestyle is so accessible to us because capitalism uses a complex web of connections to make any item available to us from around the world, no matter the distance. Take a banana, for example. Its origins are in Southeast Asia. Its name comes from Arabic. It's mostly cultivated in the Caribbean, and it's one of the most commonly consumed fruits here in the United States. Although this allows us enormous freedom in our consumption choices, it's not sustainable in the long run. However, it does have a benefit: profit. In the capitalist system, profit is nearly always prioritized over sustainability. Monocrop production, quality assurance practices, and transportation require a lot of intense chemical use and fossil fuels. And then during the process of production, there's also a lot of waste when picking out items not adequate to be sold. In the realm of fruit or vegetables, this could mean things that have a spot, or items that are slightly deformed. But this doesn't mean that the food is necessarily spoiled. It is partly these processes that have led to the current global climate crisis, resulting in species extinction, displaced populations, and global sea level rise. One of the explanations for the rise in mass consumption is explored by Philip Cushman in an article titled "Why the Self is Empty: Towards a Historically Situated Psychology," published in 1990 in The American Psychologist. He related it to the complexities of identity and the image of the self, which is defined by the shared understandings of what it means to be human. This means that our individual identities are largely based on broader societal thoughts and trends. After World War II, US society began to experience an absence of community, tradition, and shared meaning. This was internalized as a lack of self-worth and then expressed as an emotional hunger. Industries took advantage of this trend, creating as many products as possible in order to seize the opportunity to make profit, but not creating a basis for a better lifestyle. They attempt to solve our problems through providing a large variety when, instead of satisfying, this causes further dissociation, confusion, and anxiety. Furthermore, filling our lives through products and media will never substitute an emotional connection. Rather, they further separate us from the elements crucial to our existence, which are other people and nature. This causes us not to think about what we consume and contribute to a cycle of abuse of other people, of animals, of plants, of other natural resources. This is shown when we question the price and the quality of a product rather than the ethics of how it was made. Were people paid fair wages? Were rivers polluted in this process? Does my need for this product justify the harmful means in which it was produced? And after this product inevitably becomes my waste, where will it go and how will it affect those populations? We've changed our lifestyles completely to take advantage of these situations, making our lives easier, but perhaps not necessarily better in the long run. Our separation from nature allows normalizing processes that sacrifice so much to first create and then waste what's not even necessary. Moreover, we fail to realize the harm in our lifestyles because of its consistent presence in our lives. However, being conscious of where things come from and where they're going gives us the power to make more educated decisions in our consumption choices. And I'm not saying just stopping at a reusable water bottle or buying that metal straw and saying, that's it, my work is done. What I mean is being aware of what you're purchasing, being aware of where this is going, really thinking, do I need this product? How will it help me? Because a society that is conscious in what it does has the ability to not only change itself, but affect global production patterns. And it's now time that we start making those changes. Thank you.